This is Tuesday, June 26th. There are 22 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2018. Welcome to SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog. Good evening. I am your host, James Riley, and joining me on the podcast tonight, as always, Carrie Dixon.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for joining us.
And since we have no special guest, I guess we're also being joined by insanity and lack of sleep.
Oh, my God. I think you told me earlier today we had over 90 articles of news since the last time that we did a podcast. And that was a couple hours ago. So maybe it's 100 plus. Maybe.
I don't know if it's quite that many, but it's close enough to that. It's a lot.
It's a whole lot, yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to SDConCast. We'll be taking your comments and questions throughout the show. So send them on in. You can tweet us at SD_comic_con. Use the hashtag SDConCast. And we'll also be keeping an eye on the YouTube live chat if you wish to comment there. All right. So we are just going to get right into news.
Yep.
So first off, let's just start off with some of the things that we think may be coming, but there isn't a definite, and that is The Expanse has a possibility of still coming to Comic-Con.
One of the actors, Cass Anvar, he said that there is I don't remember the exact wording, but basically he said it seems very likely that they will be there. And I have heard that there will be another offsite similar to last year's, which Allcon Entertainment put on. They also did the Blade Runner one last year. They do awesome offsites very clearly. So I think we will definitely get something for The Expanse this year.
And Shazam director David F. Sandberg hinted that they will be making an appearance at Comic-Con as well, which kind of can be expected considering the WB tends to bring their whole DCEU slate that they have ready or available for something, even if it's just some cast.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just that. We also heard that Gal Gadot will probably make a quote-unquote surprise, though at this point you can't really use that word, appearance for Wonder Woman 1984 to show off some kind of a look at that because they are filming now. So I think you can pretty much guarantee WB is going to go very hard with their DC slate.
Will they be able to wrap the entire Hall H in video screens, or will we still be stuck with only half? That is the question.
It's a question I can't answer.
No.
So,
also, in the not great news, we have Lionsgate not appearing for any Hall H panels or screenings during Comic-Con.
Yeah, we had kind of thought that already based on what Jermaine said and what he wrote in his write-up on IO9, but I reached out to Lionsgate and they confirmed to me that yes, indeed, they will have no panels this year and no screenings as well. They will still have a booth. So what you can find at that booth is anyone's guess, but stop by and you might get some free posters, I guess. That's what you can get from Lionsgate this year. Not much else.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. All right. But then moving into what did get announced is a whole freaking lot of panels. So many panels. And the scary thing is, this isn't even half. It's not even half.
What do you mean not? It's the amount of announced panels is not even 10%, right?
No.
1,000 panels
There's over 1,000 panels. Typically, we do a big long list every year of here are the announced panels so far for Comic-Con before the schedule comes out. And normally that list is around 300 before the official schedule comes out. As of 10 minutes ago, it was at 100. So I'm oh my God, this list isn't even halfway through. That's terrifying to me. It's just terrifying. But what we learned is that the Disney Channel is going to be bringing a couple shows. They'll have DuckTales, Big Hero 6, the series, and Star versus the Forces of Evil. Freeform Siren is going to be there. And real quick, I just wanted to say this because I have a hunch. So I tweeted this today. But Grand Design, who we interviewed back in April, they're taking over the Petco Interactive Zone and they're rebranding it as the Comic-Con Experience. They did at New York Comic Con. They did some stuff for Freeform, including like a live mermaid, quote unquote, offsite thing where basically it was like some people swimming around where they looked like mermaids. I just have a feeling we're going to get that this year in the Petco parking lot, but we will see. Other news, I guess the Wu-Tang Clan is kind of coming to Comic-Con.
Where is
in a
that?
way. RZA, who's part of the Wu-Tang Clan, he directed a film called Cutthroat City, and that is going to be in Hall H on Saturday. And can I just say, the Saturday Hall H schedule right now looks really weird.
Because essentially what we know so far is WB, followed by animation shows or something in between. And
we actually, well, technically we don't know that WB is on Saturday. We're all just very much assuming it's always on Saturday. But yeah.
So assuming it's still on Saturday morning, and then animation shows for an hour and a half, and then this Cutthroat City panel for an hour, and then we don't know much else after that at this point.
No, we know nothing. So it's going to be, there better be something great on Saturday night is where we're at right now. Because right now it's a really weird schedule.
Yeah. So also announced, I think today, because everything flows together, is the Star Wars Clone Wars 10th anniversary panel is coming. And Dave Filoni, the showrunner for that show, as well as Rebels and the upcoming Star Wars Resistance, will be there along with special guests. And assuming that Ashley Eckstein will be on the panel because she will be there for the Her Universe fashion show. So I pretty much guarantee she's going to be on the panel as well, unless it doesn't work for her timing for the.
Well, and she tweeted out the announcement today as well. So I would very much assume that she will be there.
I'm also hoping that other voices from that show, like Matt Lanter, will be there as well. That would be great.
Nickelodeon will be there as well this year. They've got 2 panels this year. They've got Invader Zim, which is the new made-for-TV movie based on like the comic and the original series, and they're bringing back a bunch of the original cast for that. And then they also have, why am I blanking? What are they bringing, James?
Who?
Nickelodeon.
Turtles? Zim?
Yes, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those are the only 2 panels they're having, so they're not actually having a SpongeBob SquarePants panel, but they will have autograph signings with a bunch of their other people. So, like, Tom Kenny is actually still doing an autograph signing at their booth, which is very strange to me, but whatever. And they'll have some cool stuff, too, at their booth. The coolest thing they announced today, well, I guess 2 cool things, is number 1, they'll have a virtual reality Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing at their booth, and fans will have a chance to participate, which no one knows what that means, but hopefully it's not like the time that they brought that, like, what, Double Dare, and like no one got to go. It was like invite only exclusive. So hopefully it's not like that. But they're also bringing the, I think, Double Dare hamster wheel.
Giant person-sized hamster wheel.
Yeah, so you can go try that out at the Nickelodeon booth.
That's going to be pretty popular, I think.
Yes.
So we also had announced that Predator will be in Hall H on Thursday. So that's the only Fox announcement so far for movies?
Yes. And so I did have some people ask me earlier, does the fact that they announced that definitely mean no X-Men? And I don't know. So we've been hearing for a while that Fox was going to push really hard on Predator, but also that there was still a vague possibility for some other things. The announcement today actually came in like a Predator-specific press release about the new trailer. So it wasn't like, this is what 20th Century Fox is bringing to Comic-Con. It wasn't like that kind of a post. So there's a possibility, but at this point, I would assume not likely.
So then we also had, let me get back to where we were here. Vikings is coming into Comic-Con again. They have come almost every year that they've been airing, correct?
They have, yes. We don't know who will be there yet, but the biggest news is they'll be on Friday again, but they're getting a room upgrade to Ballroom 20 for the very first time. They're normally in, I want to say, like 6A? Maybe it's...
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
it was, and 6A before that. So they've been upgrading each year the last few years.
Okay, that makes sense. But another history project that looks like it will be coming is Project Blue Book. And that's got Aidan Gillen from Game of Thrones, and it's got some other people, including, I wish I could remember his name right now. It's like Robert Massey or something, but he's an actor on it. And he actually tweeted our post about it today, so I would very much assume he's coming. But yeah, that's cool. And then The Walking Dead, it sounds like they'll be back in Hall H, and we also learned that Fear the Walking Dead will be back as well. We don't know the date yet, but I would also assume they'll be in Hall H.
Yeah. I mean, they're Friday Hall H mainstays for years now.
Correct.
So we also had Fox announce all of their
Yes.
shows?
Yes.
Fox and FX and all of the 20th Century Group announced all of their panels. I know the FX ones include Legion, Mayans, MC, and Archer.
Yep.
What do the Fox include?
Fox includes all the normal like animation domination stuff. So Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, American Dad, The Simpsons. They're also bringing The Orville back. They're also bringing The Passage, which is their new vampire TV show based off of a book. It's got Mark Paul Gosselaar in it. Yeah. The biggest news, though, honestly, out of this stuff was included in the very bottom of the FX press release was the news that you can sign up for their autographs through Comic-Con International beginning July 2nd.
There you go.
Yeah,
so everybody has bookmarked that for scrambling to enter all of the signings you want, and we'll see how it goes.
I will say, though, because based on what you just said and what I've been asked a couple times today, I don't think it actually will be scrambling. I think it will very much be like the Mondo print in that they will open it up. You'll have a couple days to go in and be like, okay, well, I'm interested in this signing. I'm interested in this signing. And then at some point they'll close it. And then they'll do the randomization thing. And then they'll email you and say, hey, you won. Or no, you didn't. So
I'm pretty sure the no you didn't going to happen way more often.
Pretty sure you're right, but that's okay. It'll be a whole new system, and we're very curious to see how that works out. And the two main questions surrounding that right now are, will exclusives be included in it? Which from what I've heard is yes. And if it will only be open to general attendees like Mondo. But I would very much expect Comic-Con International to make an announcement very soon.
Yeah.
Considering it's supposed to open next week. Yeah.
So, yes, expect an announcement soon?
Soon. Very soon.
Soon. And so we had a will they or won't they with Twin Peaks, whether they're doing a panel or not, because Showtime said they're not. But
yes, but they are doing a panel. I think Showtime is just not the one paying to bring them, is essentially what it works out to be. So, like we joked last week, I mean, maybe David Lynch came last year and was like, this is fun. Let's just do it again. Why not? And then paid for it. Like, I would believe that. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that's about what it looks like right now. But yeah, they're doing a panel from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday at Indigo, which I don't remember programming in Indigo ever going quite that late.
No, it does sound a little weird. So
yeah, but that's definitely what's happening. So that's cool.
And so then we also had the usual massive release of all of the WBTV that's coming, and it's 15 shows this year, which is actually down from last year. And the main reason is because they're not bringing any mid-season shows or any show that really is not going to be that is ending, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's basically it. It's mostly the mid-season thing, though, which is, I don't know. It's really interesting because I don't know. They've never done this before. So this is obviously like a big change. And this is one of those things that I feel like is a shifting of the tide. Like, I feel like once you do this, you're probably not going to go back to it. You know, so I don't feel like next year they're gonna suddenly bring their mid-season shows, but who knows? And we talk a lot on here about like the convention bubble, you know, and like will it burst? Because that's always what people ask. And to me, like this is definitely not that, but to me, this is kind of like maybe a result of there being so many conventions. Is maybe now some studios like WB are looking at it and being like, well, okay, maybe it actually makes more sense to bring these shows to Comic-Con, these shows to New York, these shows to WonderCon, and then just not bring the whole kitchen sink like they normally do.
Which makes it weird for the Wednesday night shows because there's only like one new show, where normally it's a bunch of new shows that they premiere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they're bringing Manifest is going to be the pilot screening this year. Well, they've got Freedom Fighters: The Ray, which I know literally nothing about.
It's okay. I think like they filmed like 13 episodes or something, and they aired half of it already on the online, and now they're going to air the rest of it as season 2. Even
there
though
you go.
Do something like basically, I catch these little snippets of information as I read the stuff, and so yep.
Nice.
I don't know everything. Well, yeah, I do, but still, I like it.
But yeah, WB, like always, is still bringing the most amount of TV shows, but it is down, like James said, from last year. And it is really sad, I know, for attendees that like you don't get to have a proper goodbye with like iZombie or Gotham or some of these other stuff, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
All
right, so also showing up this year is the legendary Sid and Marty Krofft, and they're going to head to Comic-Con and do a panel and talk about Sid and Marty Krofft.
Basically, yeah. In really good Hall H news, we learned that Universal is going to be bringing 2 films this year. Glass, which is the sequel basically to Unbreakable and Split. And then the new Halloween. So those will be in Hall H at some point. We don't know what day yet, but I am truthfully like so excited about this news. And not even just because I think like Glass is going to be good, even though I do. I just love that Universal is coming back, and I am so excited that it sounds like Sony is coming back, and I am so excited that it sounds like Paramount is coming back, because the narrative so far this year has been like, Comic-Con is over, everyone's leaving. Well, if that was true, why would some of these people be coming back? So great news, I think.
Yeah. And actually what's cool about let's see, which one is it? The Halloween movie is we may get Jamie Lee Curtis in Hall H. So we're slowly gathering all of the big movie stars in Hall H over the years.
She has already been in Hall H.
Has? When?
She has. She was there for the Scream Queens panel a couple years ago.
That was in Hall H.
That was in Hall H on a Sunday.
I wouldn't go to that. So.
Well, just because you didn't go didn't mean it didn't happen.
That actually is true. I didn't know it didn't happen. Remember I said I know everything.
That's true. All right. In other news, like I said, we've got that annual list of here's all the announced panels that we're doing. Right now it's at 100. I'm sure it will be at more before I go to bed. We also, this isn't next on the list, James, but I'm going to say it. We also launched today the announced autographs post, which our lovely Lisa does every year. And it's a huge undertaking for her, but she does an amazing job. And just like a lot of these compiled posts that we do, it's mostly to try to make your life easier, to say like, here's all the information in one nice place. She breaks it out into like celebrities, authors, comic people. It's just a great resource. So go check it out.
There you go. What are we on next? We're on My Hero Academia, the movie, 2 Heroes screening at Comic-Con. We do not know whether it's inside or outside yet. So basically all we know is that it's happening.
Yep.
And once we find out more information, we will make sure we let you know.
You can go pre-order your shirts and other merchandise for Comic-Con between, did they give a date for when it shut off? I don't know that they did. I'm sure they did, but I don't see it. But you can pre-order your merchandise now. which is nice because it guarantees that it is not sold out. If you got one pen and you're unhappy with it and you wanted the other pen, you can go buy the other one for $10.78. And you can also buy a toucan tiki mug, because who doesn't want that?
And this year, actually, they've done them for one. They did them last year, but not the year before, right? Is last year the first year they started tiki mugs?
No, I think they've done them too. I think this is the third year.
Well, this is also the first year they're starting a series. So now they're going to be themed tiki mugs. And so it may continue from this point on. So if you haven't gotten any before, now is the time where you can start collecting in a series of tiki mugs.
I'm not going to lie. I pre-ordered that toucan tiki mug. So that's me. All right. In other news.
Conan. No tickets have not been announced.
No, we don't know when they will be.
We don't. But they did announce on their Instagram that they are running a contest. If you can guess which 4 characters or whatever identities Conan is taking for the Pops this year, you will win an entire set of every Pop since 2015. So head on over to their Instagram, ConanCon, and figure out what they are and put a comment on that post, and you can have a chance to win. And there are over 3,000 comments at this point, so good luck.
Pretty much. I also wanted to bring up to your point, James. The contest officially ends on July 9th, by which point I am more than certain that the lineup will be announced. So you could actually just wait for them to announce it and then definitely go put the right answers on there. That is an option.
That is an option. There you go.
There you go. All right. Cartoon Network. We're skipping around here. Cartoon Network also announced their panels, autographs, all of their stuff today. They're mostly focusing on Adventure Time and Steven Universe, which I think is great, because in a year where like everyone is like, yeah, you don't really get to say goodbye to this show, Cartoon Network is actually giving fans like a final chance to say goodbye to Adventure Time. So thank you, Cartoon Network.
And that's actually the point of the panel. It's a goodbye panel.
Yeah, that's literally it.
We're here to promote the next season, even though it may be the last. It's like, this is the goodbye panel.
Yes.
So, Tamashii Nations, we already knew their exclusives, but they did announce that they are going to be doing the part of the, let me see, what is it called here? Let me get the right name. It's a Dragon Ball tour.
Yeah.
And they're going to be having some promotional giveaways, including a Dragon Ball giant bag, the Dragon Ball North American Tour promotion card, Pure-Hearted Son Goku, a lanyard, and a game deck from Series 3. So when you go by there, you will be able to check out all of that stuff, grab some freebies, and also check out all of their exclusives, which we have some really cool new photos of on the site: the Power Rangers, the Megazord, the green and the red, and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Speaking of cool things, one of our favorite signs that Comic-Con is just around the corner is when the official banners go up all over the gas lamp. And this year, it's all about Marvel. None of it's new. Unfortunately, none of it's like a new look at it. But they've got a whole bunch of like 10th anniversary photos of the different characters up, and some of them are posters for Infinity War. They look really cool. They look really great downtown. I still, I say this like every freaking podcast, I still think that even though Marvel is not going to be in Hall H, that Kevin Feige had it right, and we're getting something for the 10th anniversary. I have no idea what it would be. I have no idea where it would be. But I just feel like we're getting something. But I don't know.
Kevin Feige is going to be out on Patrick Grass handing out cups of water.
No, that's us.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
What else
we're
happened?
Not doing that either, are we?
What else is happening, James?
I don't know. Let me check. Comic-Con?
You wrote your name by it.
I know. Okay, so the Comic-Con released the shuttle map and schedule, and it's basically the same as last year. The same number of stops. I think the only difference is that it is starting at 4:30 a.m. on Thursday instead of 5 a.m. So there you go. Big difference. Oh, actually, besides the whole fact that they're closing down Harbor and the buses are now going to be stopping on Harbor instead of right in front of the convention center. That might be another slight change, but, you know, we already knew that.
Didn't we talk about that in last week's podcast?
We did.
Okay. Just making sure we already covered it. There's been so much stuff. Like, time has no concept at this time of year anymore. Like, I don't know what day it is.
Nope. No. So they also released the exhibitor list, and it's separated into the exhibitors, small press, artist alley, and fan table sections. And they have a PDF with the whole map of the show, and so you can see where everything is. And as Parks and Cons always mentions in their SDCC tips every year, study the map, try and memorize main booths or pieces of it so you can orient yourself easily and quickly. So that you can get around the floor without having to stop and look at a map for a few minutes, because those few minutes may cost you.
Absolutely. So I want to take a quick break and talk about some of the questions real quick in the chat. The Dr. Ernest Tardist asked, is the Doctor Who panel on Sunday? What time? Right now, it doesn't really look like it's going to be on Sunday just because there's not really a time slot it could go in. We don't know what day it's going to be, but my money at this point would be not Sunday. Let's see here. We had more questions. Stephanie L. asked, do you expect most of the RSVPs for parties to be at the start of July? I wouldn't say most. I think we're going to start seeing more at the start of July, but truthfully, like, we get a ton of RSVPs like 4 days before Comic-Con. So you're just going to have to keep an eye out. We had other questions. Oh, people are asking, is the Dragon Ball Z thing an offsite or at their booth? And truthfully, I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be an offsite, but no one has like officially said like, yeah, it's an offsite and here's the location. So I feel like it could kind of go either way. I don't know. And then Christopher Milano said, quick, someone asked Tom Holland what Feige's plans are for Comic-Con. That's good. That's good.
Right?
That's good, yeah. All right. Let's see here. Any other questions? No, I think that's it. All right, back to the news. We announced our own details today about our stuff. So we'd already announced our party. You may have noticed we kind of slid in without drawing too much attention to it. The party is actually going to be from 6 to 9 now instead of 6 to 10. So sorry about that. But we will be at McFadden's. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have some of Ninja Bot's exclusive stickers to give out. We'll have some of our own buttons to give out. It's just a really chill party. We hope you'll come hang out with us. And then Adventures of Prize Mule is definitely back this year. And we have some amazing stuff this year for you guys. We have Comic-Con exclusives from Alex Ross. We have Comic-Con exclusives from Cryptozoic. We have items from Diamond Select Toys. We have Comic-Con exclusives from Entertainment Earth and Factory Entertainment. Kid Robot. NECA's sending us some stuff. Ninja Bot's sending us some stuff. We're going to have every one of Hallmark's Comic-Con exclusives this year. Skybound is sending us some Comic-Con exclusives. Symbiote Studios, you're going to get some certificates to go to their booth and buy whatever you want. Same at Toddland. UCC Distributing, we're getting one of all of their Comic-Con exclusives. Viz sent us some stuff. And we also have a Hasbro Fast Pass again this year. And that is just announcement number 1 with more to be added.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be a good year.
Napkins so you can wipe up that drool.
And we also have an amazing new Adventures of Prize Mule shirt this year. We gave out shirts last year as well. They look a little bit different. But this year they have Gary on them, and I love them.
We all love them.
We all love them. They are awesome. And our friends over at the Ninja Bot, they designed like a digital version of Gary for us, and he looks so good.
It's really awesome.
It is awesome.
In fact, you go ahead and do the next one, and I'm going to put the picture of Gary up.
Do it. Do it. All right. We are giving away 2 different pairs of tickets to the San Diego Symphony's The Movie Music of John Williams on Wednesday night. where the symphony will be playing all kinds of wonderful music from John Williams. So if you are watching the podcast live and not just listening, on your screen now you can see this year's shirts. And again, I think it looks amazing. I love it. So
awesome.
And the only way to get that, we're not selling them because I had a couple people ask me that today. The only way to get it is to catch the prize mule when we happen to be giving one away. So good luck. Basically, good luck.
Now I need to get back to where I was, don't I? Too busy having fun with those things. Okay, is that it for the newsy type news?
I think so.
And now we're on to the off-sitey type news?
I think so. Well, we have a couple questions, or are those old?
Well, one of them's about an off-site, so we'll do that one first. And it is from Shondell on Twitter. Is Adult Swim on the Green coming back? Yes, it is. And
it will be behind the convention center again in its usual spot. That's what I know.
We have a question about the shirt. Will it come in different colors? No.
No. It is one color. We will have different sizes, but one color only.
Yeah, and that's because, of course, complementary colors, and green really pops with the purple. So, or I'm just making it up and we wanted it to be green. Who knows?
No, it's what you said.
Oh.
My designer went, this green looks really good with this purple, and I went, okay. Deal.
Blame designer if you don't like it. If you don't like green, don't try and win one.
Yeah, it's that simple, really.
Really?
It's not like we don't have any other amazing stuff. All right. Do we have any other questions real quick?
I don't think so.
Scott Mueller asked, do you think that there will be smaller crowds in Hall H this year? If so, what will the impact be to the floor? Right now, yes. Yeah. I do think that the Hall H lines are going to be pretty darn short.
That was not.
I mean,
honestly, it's Hall H, the way it's shaping up right now, it's going to be near full a lot, but there's going to be a lot of turnover.
You say near full. I'm not even sure about that.
Well, I mean, Doctor Who's going to fill it. Supernatural's going to fill it. WB is going to fill it. So each day, something's going to fill that hall.
I see. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, it might fill up, but I feel like you can probably get in most days with like an hour wait. And I think a lot of the time it's actually going to be a straight up walk in. And that happens a lot of times with the bigger panels. Like, people don't realize this, but like I have very specific memories of walking past like Hall H during the Fox panel. I think one year when they were on, I think it was like the year that they were on like a Friday night or whatever. And the security guards were literally like standing outside being like, just come on in. Like, there's no line.
Yeah.
Not full.
I think there was a year that, was it Hunger Games was on a Thursday along with some other panels. I mean, every single panel, with the exception of like one, I think you could get in, walk right in. I think one of them, and the one was like a half hour to an hour wait, and that was it. All day on Thursday. And it was some pretty big panels. I mean, we're talking movies, big movies that people really wanted to see.
But with no Game of Thrones and no Marvel, I really and truly think that Hall H is just not going to be that busy this year. Which is great if you want to go see some of these other panels. Like, if you were so excited about Glass or the Fox stuff, like, it's going to be a great year for you. If you don't care about that stuff and you want to go onto the floor, it might not be a great year, because all of those people who would normally be in the Hall H line do have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I do think that we are definitely going to see a busier floor, and I believe that we saw a much busier floor the last time Marvel skipped, and we made that same comment. We were like, it's basically because those people have to go somewhere. So
it's not the autographs and whether or not people are lining up for signings in the morning. It's whether or not the rooms are full, which is why Comic-Con tries to program so many different rooms with so many things that you want to see, even if they're at the same time, because they need to get people off the show floor because it is too crowded.
Absolutely. But I guarantee you that what's going to happen is the show floor is going to be busy and everybody's going to be like, it's because of the autographs. But it's not just going to be because of the autographs. It's going to be because of a lot of things. But we'll see.
Maybe the offsite lines will also be awful this year with everyone, going from, instead of to Hall H, they're going to be in lines for offsites all day long. So that could be something that extends the lines.
Absolutely. We will find out. Do you think the closure of Harbor will create a cluster in the back of the convention? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. You mean because of all the cars that may want to go that way instead? I mean, they're going to be policing that pretty well, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to drive back there. I mean,
you'll be able to get in there if you are staying at like the Bayfront or something like that.
Yeah.
And the only way to get into parking will be through the First Avenue side near, between the Marriott and the Convention Center. So they're not going to let anyone down Harbor, and they're not going to let anyone into the area behind the Convention Center unless they have a reason to be there, I'm pretty sure. So, and then it's in front of the convention. I think it's going to be better, at least for pedestrians.
Yeah.
So, I'm cautiously optimistic about how this is going to work out. But I think that, yes, people that are coming into park and maybe driving down in the area probably are going to have a little bit of a harder time. So just plan accordingly and maybe get there a little earlier than you think you need to account for all the traffic going into one direction.
Yep. And then we got another question. Are the Hall H freebies dead? Will they come back this year? I mean, you guys got some freebies. Last year when you got the
Last year was Thor. Last year was the Thor and Black Panther posters.
Yes.
Among other things.
So freebies aren't dead. I mean, I think you just I don't think you're ever going to return to like the swag of like 5-6 years ago. I don't think that's coming back, most unfortunately. But I mean, we've gotten some cool stuff every once in a while. Again, those Marvel hats, I guess that was 2 years ago. That was pretty cool. They gave out like wands or something too, didn't they?
I don't remember those.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. I never go to Hall H. Don't ask me.
Under the Capes is mentioning on the chat that then there's no Game of Thrones offsite either. And I mean, that had a line wrapped around the building all day long.
Absolutely.
And so that's hundreds of people that will now be somewhere else.
Same with the Westworld offsite.
I don't think it was, well, the Westworld was like, what, 500 people trying to get in for the 1,000 trying to get in for the few hundred slots available. So, I mean, yeah, people are going to go somewhere, but there's going to be other offsites. They'll just shift to another offsite line probably. There's going to be the whole experience at the Petco now, which is going to have a slightly different vibe to it. And maybe people will hang out over there because it actually will be hangoutable with food trucks and such. So there's a lot of things that can happen. I
think they have seating, which is like always my number one thing. Like, why do offsites not have seating? All right. Sir Lester of Smeg asks, do you think the Lego minifigure giveaway might be an online lotto this year since the line has gotten crazy? This is the one that I keep questioning, honestly. I will say I've asked them a couple times now, how are you doing your stuff this year? Like the procedure. And normally they tell me, and this year they've been kind of cagey, which to me suggests that there might be something more going on, but I know absolutely nothing. So we will find out. Yep.
Okay. So let's start hitting all the offsite news that we got. And the first one was Super 7, right, Carrie?
Yes, they have two. They have a retail location in San Diego, and they're going to do 2 different pop-up shops this year. So normally they do Skeletor's Lair, which is their Masters of the Universe offsite. This year it's Hordak's Lair, and they will still have Masters of the Universe merchandise exclusive to the convention from Wednesday from 9 p.m. to midnight, and then Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then on Friday, it switches over to Universal Studios Monsters Bodega Corner Monstore, which will basically be themed around like Universal Studios Monsters. So think like Frankenstein and all that kind of stuff. And that will be on Friday from 9 p.m. to midnight, and then Saturday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And then we have, well, Funko Fun Days, which is sold out, but you can win 2 tickets. And the way you do that is you have to go listen to their podcast, the Funko Funcast. It was the one from last week, and I think it's about a little past halfway through. The instructions on how to enter will be there. Yes, we are going to go make you listen to it because that's the whole point. So go ahead there and figure out how to enter. And I don't see a way for what the expiration date is on the contest.
I don't think they gave one in the podcast, but I might be wrong. But yeah, just go listen, try, see what happens. The Impractical Jokers, as we've announced before, they're back with their block party. It'll be at Petco Park on Saturday, July 21st. It'll be probably pretty much the same as last year. It'll be free, open to the public. They'll have autograph signings. They'll have all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So that'll be fun. And then
Peanuts is returning with a pop-up shop as well. They had one. They had one multiple years now. I'm pretty sure
yes.
they have, and they're back. And they will have some exclusives. They will be open from Thursday through Sunday. It will be at.
It's always in the exact same place. It's some retail location, like in the Gas Lamp.
226 Fifth Avenue in the Gas Lamp.
Yeah.
So
it's the same place it always is. Yeah.
I'll have all peanuts up.
That's right. One of my favorite announcements of the last week is actually the FYE. So last year, we didn't really know about it until I think Sean just stumbled across it, but they had 2 pop-up shops over at the Horton Grand. This year they're doing 1, but it's going to have all kinds of Comic-Con exclusives. We've announced several of them, but I've been told they have like a ton more stuff coming. And a lot of it is like really cool stuff. Like they've got a designer Reptar from Rugrats. They've got some SpongeBob SquarePants stuff. Like it just looks really cool. So I'm excited that that's coming. I'm excited to learn some more about that. I don't know too much about it right now, but we will see.
So not as many offsites as just general news panels, and as we're going to show in just a minute, exclusives, which are coming up. But offsites, I assume we're going to get a lot more announcements for all of the things that are going along the promenade is what it's called, right?
Yes.
Along the train tracks there, which multiple offsites get set up out there. Like last year was The Walking Dead and Tick and just all kinds of other stuff. So we'll get all of those announcements over the next couple of weeks, including the ones that I think are the official offsites, basically, that Comic-Con is involved with, and they will announce those in the next couple of weeks as well.
Absolutely. And then the Doctor and his TARDIS asks, is Nerdist / Geek and Sundry planning an offsite? They haven't officially said anything. Geek and Sundry did make a comment that sounded like they had another offsite in the works, but nothing official yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. J9 Mag asked, is Stranger Things doing anything this year? TBD. I think the only Netflix panels we know about right now are The Toys That Made Us are going to have a Thursday panel, which is cool if you like that documentary style show. And then Voltron, which is technically DreamWorks, but I think it airs on Netflix, that will also have a panel, autograph signing, poster giveaway, all kinds of stuff. So I think those are the only... Oh, no, we know Iron Fist. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it so far.
That's it so far. I'm sure there will be more to come. Night Bodega asked, how about letting food trucks on Harbor now that they are closing the road? We can now get more things to eat. The problem with doing that is you would basically they're doing this to ease congestion, not to create it, is really what this boils down to. So putting a whole bunch of food trucks there is just going to create more congestion. So I don't see them doing that. But you can find food trucks definitely over in the Experience at Comic-Con, which is in Petco Park.
And then Mike Nelson asked about MAC Cosmetics announcing their exclusives, which they've had some pretty cool ones like Star Trek themed and such over the years, but there has been no announcements. So no telling if they will even have exclusives this year.
I have no idea. None at all. All right. What other questions do we have?
I have not seen any.
I think that's about it. All right. Let's move on to the exclusives, shall we?
All right. So first up, we have Bluefin, and they are bringing, let me get it open here, the Bandai Spirits Hobby Figure-Rise Standard Dragon Ball Vegito model kit. Sorry about butchering that.
Say that 3 times fast.
Right. Oh my goodness. So it's got a 17.7-inch sword. That's crazy. Anyway, it's the sword has to have its own stand, if you can, as you can see in the picture, if you're watching this live. They will also be releasing a 1/72nd scale B-Wing Starfighter limited edition version. That thing also looks really cool. It's all like spiffy white and blue with a little B-Wing pilot in there. That's pretty awesome. I like that thing. Anyway, that's what Bluefin is bringing.
Iron Souls in the chat says it's Vegito. Just FYI.
There you go.
There you go. Funko.
Now on. I will never pick it up again. Until next week.
Until next week. And you might actually, there's been a whole freaking lot of Dragon Ball stuff this year. Like everyone is doing Dragon Ball stuff this year. It's crazy. Funko is bringing everything and the kitchen sink, as always. They have exclusives from Hanna-Barbera. They have exclusives from Looney Tunes, from Harry Potter, from Disney. They have Marvel, including my favorite thing maybe that they've ever brought to Comic-Con with that Taika Waititi director pop that I know I'm never going to get my hands on, but it looks amazing. They have, I mean, just so much stuff. We also have like Mad Max one. If you're watching live, like again, it just goes on. There's so many. So many. So we say this all the time, but let's talk about how do you get Funko exclusives at the show is usually the question I'm asked, and my answer 99% of the time is don't. Because for most of these, pretty much unless they say limited, like LE and then a number, which means limited edition set of like 3,000 or however many, you can find them in retail stores. The way that this works is on Wednesday, Funko will post the official announcement of like, here are these specific stores that these ones will be available in. That night, usually around between like midnight and 4 a.m., the different locations will put them up online. You can pre-order them there. You can go to the store starting on Thursday. You can do whatever. They have a slightly different sticker, but it's a whole lot less hassle. So.
All right, what do we have next? We have next, because I was busy typing.
That's okay.
We have, I'm going to find it.
Voltron!
Okay, this is awesome. So Voltron is coming back with the panel, as we mentioned, and they are bringing an exclusive poster. And this poster can be obtained in one of 2 ways. First way, show up at the panel. Everyone at the panel is going to get it. And the other way is the autograph signing that will be happening on... let me make sure I get the date right here. Saturday from 11 to 12, and they will be handing out tickets in the autograph area at 9 a.m., which is basically means you have to head up to sales to get them. Unless something changes and they move it to the online lottery. Right now, that is the announced way to get them. So the other exclusive is Lions Forge Comics is going to be having an exclusive cover for Series 3, Issue 1. Limited to 400 copies, and you can get that at the Lions Forge Comics booth at 5543.
All right, so we've had a couple Funko questions, so I just kind of want to go back to this. Sorry. Somebody asked what I'm curious about how to get is the limited edition Taika. For that, we're going to have to wait to see when Funko and Comic-Con announce how like the exclusives companies that are normally up in sales like Hasbro and Funko are going to work this year. But unfortunately, like I said, the ones that say like LE and have an edition size by them, those are the ones that are actually going to be exclusive to Comic-Con. So that is most unfortunately for me, like the Taika Waititi one. And I know there's a couple other in here. So like today, the Hanna-Barbera Banana Splits Snorky, which is the little elephant guy, got announced. A bunch of the Hanna-Barbera ones actually are exclusive to the convention. So there's a couple of those, but yeah, that's not the vast majority of them. So just FYI. In other exclusive news, my friends over at UCC Distributing, we got to announce all of their Comic-Con exclusives, and oh my gosh, they have a lot. They have so many, and they're good too. Like they're actually really awesome.
Wide range of properties too. So many different things.
Absolutely. They've got like a really cool, it's pretty big, like a Coochie Kopi from Bob's Burgers, and he like squishes. That's cool. They've got another one that's cosplaying as Louise. They've got a massive Dragon Ball Super Xeno. They've got like an Overwatch Mega Loot Box. They've got some Funko Pops. They've got a Bob's Burgers Van Collector set. They've got DuckTales figures. They've got a King of the Hill figure. Like so much stuff. Star versus the Forces of Evil. From
the
what
only matters, the Dark Kermit.
Right? That is the only one that mattered. I think it's hysterical though. Oh my gosh, you guys are cracking me up. Apparently none of you have ever seen Muppets Most Wanted. Not that I particularly blame you, but everyone replied to that. It was like, it's meme Kermit. And I'm like, no, it's Constantine, but okay. But maybe they're onto something. Like maybe every year they just need to do like a different meme of Kermit. Like the next year he can just be like drinking the tea, you know? Kermit drinking tea. I think it would be good.
Like after that, the next year they can do one where he comes with a rainy window.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I think we're onto something like really popular.
Reached the limit of my knowledge of Kermit memes.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. But I did want to mention as well, I also saw a whole bunch of people. I think this is like the very first plush of Star versus the Forces of Evil, and people were really excited about that as well. But they just have so much stuff. And again, they will have a new pre-order, or not pre-order, but like a new system for how to get their exclusives, which will be announced this week. But as always, you can also always just stop by the booth and check things out and see what's up with the line.
Yeah, so, and the slides are still going, by the way. So if you're watching, yes, there's still more going. There's little what are those little sets from Disney and Naruto, and just so much stuff. So if you would like any of these, there's Rick and Morty and some Shopkins, and yeah, just a ton of Overwatch, just a ton of stuff. And I think that's it. I think that's all the slides.
I think that's all of it too. But yeah, just so much stuff. But yeah, I think that Dark Kermit is going to be like one of the surprise hottest things of the convention based on Twitter's reaction. Yeah.
Seriously. All right. So the next exclusive we have is from Gentle Giant, and they have released that they'll be doing a Star Wars Return of the Jedi anniversary bust of Luke, Jedi Knight. And it is going to be 1/6 scale and will retail for $120.
Yep. Super 7, like we mentioned. So Super 7, they do exclusives at their booth, and then they also do exclusives at their pop-up shops. And so far, they have announced 3 of the exclusives for the Hordak Slayer Masters of the Universe pop-up, including another thing that I think is going to be actually one of the surprise hits of this convention is a Laughing Prince Adam figure, which is based on a viral video, and it comes in like glitter packaging. Like it looks amazing.
It is amazing.
It is amazing. They're going to have some other stuff too, like She-Ra versus Hordak Reaction 2-pack. They've got some little She-Ra blind boxes. Yeah, they're going to have all kinds of stuff. And this is really only like the start of their announcements. They're going to have so much other stuff.
And then we have Bandai with some really cool stuff. We have the Bandai Dragon Star Series Scion Evolution Pack, which is a 3-figure pack, and that will retail for $80. And then we also have, let me see here. We have the Golden Frieza Scouter, the limited edition Power Rangers Zeo Zeonizer. Goodness, these names, man. The Power Rangers Legacy In Space Psycho Silver Ranger figure. and the In Space Psycho Green Ranger figure. So, yeah, all kinds of Power Rangers, Dragon Ball. You know you love it. You know you want to get it, and now you know where to find it.
Again, so much Dragon Ball this year. So much Dragon Ball. Monogram announced a couple of new exclusives as well, including a Sailor Moon magnetic medallion enamel pin set, which it'll retail for $35 and it's limited to 300 pieces. They also have a Harry Potter collector's gift set, which has a whole bunch of different pieces in it. Like it's got some keychains and some pens and some other cool stuff. It's also limited to 300 pieces and will retail for $30. We have a Naruto keyring set for $40. We have a Kingdom Hearts lanyard for $15. They have all kinds of awesome stuff. And the cool thing about them this year is they will be doing a pre-sale starting on July 9th through the 11th. And every day of those 3 days at 10 a.m. Pacific time, you can basically go onto their site and they'll have daily allotment available for their exclusives. So you can actually pre-order it ahead of time. Which is cool.
And then we come to Mattel, which had their pre-sale today.
Yes.
And they still do have some items available, but some of them did sell out. But the new items are the He-Man fur loincloth. It's
the belt of power. Come on now.
All right. It's just the same thing you would get at a baseball game for free that they would toss to you, except for it just has fur on it. And it's, anyway, it's pretty awesome if you like that thing. So there's a WWE Muscle 4-pack. My favorite actually is the Hot Wheels Thanos Copter, which is amazing.
I knew you were going to say that.
It is. It's so cool. I mean, it's so stupid, but it is so cool. And then we have the limited edition Mega Constructs Pokemon Gengar set. And I think that was... Oh, no, we have the Masters of the Universe Princess of Power She-Ra Tiara.
And a tote bag with Skeletor on it.
And a Masters of the Universe t-shirt and He-Man character masks. Whew. Okay, so things that have sold out are the Porg and Millennium Falcon, the Action Comics Hot Wheels set. So at least those two things have sold out for sure. I don't know what other things. But okay, so Mattel is a little different this year, and it's kind of a big deal. They are not doing the pickup in the Marriott anymore. What they are doing instead is you have to, during the convention, go to their booth at 2945 and check in to confirm your pre-sale purchase. You will need to show your Comic-Con badge, your ID, and the order confirmation, and the name must match on all of them. And then they will ship you your items after the event. What this means is only people who are going to Comic-Con can order, should order. I mean, you can order it if you want. You're just not going to get it. So it's actually fairly interesting because now you don't have to wait in line over at the Marriott for however many hours it took, depending on when you showed up there. You didn't have to lug it back to your hotel or carry it around all day. So that's actually pretty cool. It is going to add a layer of doing something again onto the show floor, but I think this is actually a really good change because it's kind of meeting we don't want to take all this stock to the show and pay all this money to have people handling it all, but also limiting it to people who are going to the show, making it an actual Comic-Con exclusive. I think go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is I've seen a lot of people say like, well, I mean, Mattel's line was already so slow. Now we're just changing that slow line to the floor. I think the main difference here is going to be that here they're basically just like checking your name off a list, whereas before they had to like find your order, go get the items, bring it back. Like that takes a whole lot longer than just like checking you off a list. So I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to be like a really fast process. We will see how it shakes out. I guess it does. The only downside to this really is that it sucks a lot for international attendees because you had to be in the 48 contiguous United States to order today to have it shipped. So right. For those people, you can still get your stuff though. You just have to head directly to the booth, and they will have some inventory on site to sell. So
for Mattel, I will make two suggestions. The first is if you're going to go check in, don't do it on Thursday morning when they're working out all the kinks. Let someone else be the guinea pig for that. show up later on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
As long as you check in during the convention, during the hours stated, you're fine. Yeah. But also, as a word of warning, some things can go wrong. So maybe go ahead and take a selfie of yourself checking in at the booth with the Mattel logo or something that shows that you were there. In case something does go wrong and they don't ship you your product, you can prove you were there.
Which is a great idea, really.
So,
all right. We had another Patrick Ballesteros print this week. This one is exclusive to Comic-Con. It's called Jump Around, and it's all about the Emperor's New Groove. Just like the others, it will be available for $15 at his booth in Artist Alley. I think maybe this week, maybe next week. I don't know. He's going to unveil like the schedule of when all of these are happening, because basically he'll have one different exclusive print every day of the convention, as well as one exclusive Can You Hear Me Now piece as well. So Factory Entertainment unveiled the last of their Comic-Con exclusives, which included a mystery box. And so basically the way that works is you pay $100 and then you get $250 of mystery surprise merchandise in return. And 2% of the mystery boxes will also include a special certificate which grants the holder a free limited edition Factory Entertainment collectible with a retail value of at least $250. So what that means is for your $100, you could get up to $500 worth of merchandise.
That is not a bad deal.
No, it's not.
Okay, so we finally, in the exclusive, well, maybe not finally, but Lego. We have the Lego Superheroes Aquaman set. And so this will be $40, and of course you can get it at the Lego booth. I think that's all the information we have. We don't have any idea how they will be handling it yet. So keep an eye out, and maybe we'll hopefully get the news on the other Lego exclusives and or minifigs or brickheads or whatever else that they're doing this year.
It seems like they're doing actual sets this year, which is like awesome. So I know a lot of people were, no offense to brickheads, but a little disappointed that we got those and no sets for a couple years. So yay. All right. Epic Skyline asks, can we pick up official merch on days we don't have a badge? I think so. I think you just have to have like a badge. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because it's offsite at the Marriott, so they're not. Yes. When you're walking around the Marriott lobby, they're not checking for badges there.
That is correct. And then D-Brad asked, have we heard anything about professional passes being shipped out? Yes. So professional badges and it looked like today press badges have slowly started to be shipped. But for anyone, and that includes like general attendees, anyone, if your badge is not shipped yet, don't worry, okay? We still have 3 weeks until the convention, and badges are just, they go out in batches. They go out slowly because they have to mail out 135,000 of them. Don't worry. And if for any possible reason you don't receive your badge, you can still attend the convention. All you have to do is bring your paperwork and your ID to the convention center, and they can activate you a new badge super easily. That's the joy of RFID. If you don't receive it though, do make sure that you send them an email to let them know, because if you send them an email, they'll waive the like $10 fee. If you don't send them an email, you'll have to pay the $10. So.
Right. And so that means, just in general, make sure you have a copy of your email with the barcode, and just make sure that you're prepared in case something happens. It's just basics. You need to have a copy of pretty much everything that you have a ticket for at Comic-Con, so you can make sure you get into everything you want to get into.
Yes, absolutely.
We had some other exclusives that were announced, and we're just going to go through these real quick. Dark Horse released a bunch of stuff just like a couple hours ago.
Even though a lot of it was from 2017, really.
It happens. Is this Toink? Or is it Toy?
I don't know. Let's go with Toink, because that's more fun to say.
They released. I don't even know what they released. They released stuff today. I don't have it.
They released all kinds of stuff. It's mostly pens, but they also have like a really cool Daredevil and Punisher Tiki mug set. So whoever has been saying like, is this the year of the Tiki? Yes, it is. Icon Heroes announced a whole bunch of stuff, including a Once Upon a Time letter opener.
Card holders.
Yes, some mouse pads, which I didn't even know people still used, but apparently you can buy some Comic-Con exclusive ones this year. Alex Ross Art also announced a couple more exclusives, including a Captain America signed lithograph and a Superman signed lithograph. You can find all that information on our site. Entertainment Earth has a whole bunch of stuff, including Psycho Power Rangers from Bandai, some little push puppets, including Infinity War and Deadpool. Acme Archives, you can actually pre-order all of their exclusives online now. They've got some really cool pieces of art. We also have their signing schedule up on our site. There you go. What were you saying?
Acme Archives. They have a Millennium Falcon one. Looks awesome.
It does. It all looks pretty awesome, actually. So I'm really excited about that. Kotobukiya, they have 2 Supergirl things. They have a dark Supergirl statue, and they also have a Supergirl lanyard charm. You can actually pre-order both of those as well right now. So that's cool. The Tick, New England Comics always brings a ton of stuff for the Tick, and this year is no different. They've got some awesome stuff. There's even a coloring book. There's a whole bunch of variants. In fact, I think there's even a variant or something that Ben Edlund wrote, maybe, but I know Ben Edlund had something to do with one of them. Sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head. Han Cholo has a whole bunch of items this year as well. They do usually pens. They've also got a Voltron set with a whole bunch of different things in it. I don't even know how to explain it, but you can find that on their site as well. The Shag stores are doing Planet of the Apes prints exclusive to Comic-Con this year. Those look really awesome. They're kind of 60s, 70s tiki vibe. They look awesome. Elle Hoffer Design, who I actually love. If you don't know who that is, she does really high-end geek ready-to-wear fashion. She's bringing a couple things this year, including 2 really pretty dresses inspired by Aurora. All of that stuff you can grab at her booth. It'll be in limited quantities. She'll have more stuff to announce. Yesterday started announcing their pens. They always do some fun stuff. Oni Press is doing some Rick and Morty stuff this year. They have a Pickle Rick pen. They have a Pickle Rick foil variant. They have some other stuff. Mezco is doing exclusives this year. They announced their Living Dead doll for the year. Cartoon Network has all kinds of exclusives. Do you want to talk about those, James? Because I've just gone through the whole list.
Steven Universe sketchbook from Inside Editions. Some Steven Universe Zagware exclusive plush. That's the one at UCC. Let me see what else we got here.
Mondo.
Print T-shirt. Mondo is doing an Adventure Time 7-inch vinyl, which looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
Also an Adventure Time Beginning of the End #1 exclusive from Boom. Coloring book from Dark Horse. I mean, oh, this one's cool. A Powerpuff Girls Titan Figures 3-pack from Titan.
Yeah.
I mean, just all over the convention. So you got to check because they're at different booths. It's not all in one place.
Correct. You can't go to the Cartoon Network booth and buy these, but they look awesome. I'm really excited actually about that Mondo vinyl, and that's actually our first Mondo Comic-Con exclusive announcement of the year.
Yep.
So that's cool. Loungefly, they're going to have some stuff this year.
Cuphead, Stranger Things, Star Wars Porg, and Star Wars Jabba's Palace bags and or backpacks.
Yeah. And you can get most of these at different booths. So the Cuphead one you can also get at GameStop. The Porg backpack you can also get at the Think Geek booth. The Jabba Palace backpack you can also get at Entertainment Earth. The only one that is going to be exclusive to the Loungefly booth is that Stranger Things World's Best Babysitter tote that I actually love.
Yes.
We're going to have so many more announcements in the coming days, including our friends at Toddland. We will be announcing all their exclusives on Thursday. So look for some Bob's Burgers and Family Guy goodness on Thursday.
Yep.
They
were just actually, it was, I guess he announced that while we went live on the podcast. So
Yeah, he announced that like just before because I retweeted it.
All right. So we have one question here from Stephanie L. The likelihood of Funko moving to a lottery via the CCI portal. Well, first, CCI has to use the portal for exclusives, and then they may decide to make Funko a part of it, which if they do move to a portal, I'm assuming Funko will be a part of it because they are such a large portion of the line that is making up that upstairs area. You know, I would assume that they would move all of the larger vendors into the portal and have them go that way.
I think that is probably a very good bet.
We didn't think they were going to use it, but now it's looking like things are.
I very much think that they are. And what we do know as well is that actually, I believe that the portal is actually going to do a couple different things. I know for a fact that all of the vendors this year, normally they upload their exclusives like through a different backend system, but this year they all uploaded it to the portal. However, I don't think that means everybody is going to like, you're going to be able to go in and pre-order, but that is going to be like the house of like, go look at what the people are bringing. I think it's going to be that, but then I think for a couple of people, it's going to be the like, I mean, they already said like you'd be able to sign up for exclusive merchandise time slots or whatever the wording was. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be that for a couple booths, but we will find out soon.
Well, hopefully this week, maybe next. Well, because we know July 2nd is for the autographs.
Yeah.
So who knows if we're going to get the vendor exclusives at the same time or not. So
I have no idea.
No
All
idea.
right. Any word / guess on Kona tickets? I mean, I would have thought they would have already happened, to be perfectly honest with you. Normally by now they have happened. So I'm not entirely certain what the holdup is, but could be any day now. Yeah. Could have gone up while we're watching this podcast. Like, who knows? All right. Let's see here. What other stuff do we have? Any questions? I think that's about it. All right. So we would love to feature you on our site. Every Friday, we do an attendee of the week. Link is in the show notes for how you can apply. But that's a really cool way for us to basically share your Comic-Con story with the rest of our readers.
If you or someone you know still needs a badge to Comic-Con, all hope is not lost. There are contests, and we have every contest we hear about and find in the contest hub on our site.
Parking went on sale on June 4th. I think most of it is actually still available, except for obviously like the convention center and the Bayfront. And then don't forget about our Under the Tents column, which Andy does a fantastic job with.
And it's, I think, hitting 2 times a day.
It has been this week. Yeah.
It's been a busy week.
Yes, it has. As we mentioned earlier, Too Fast, Too Furious, Gaslamp Drift is happening. It will be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at McFadden's. So that's fun.
At a different time elsewhere, like on Facebook, we're slowly remembering where we put things and we're going to change them. So
yes,
be patient.
The point is basically it now ends at 9 instead of 10. That was really the change. But yeah. Prize Mule returns. Like I said, we have all kinds of amazing companies this year, like Hallmark, Hasbro, Kid Robot, all kinds of fun stuff for you guys that we will be giving away at the convention.
So this special list SDConCast will become special again, most likely starting next week, as we are live every Tuesday.
I think it's I think Factory Entertainment is on next week, and they are actually going to unpack one of those mystery boxes and show us like what might be in it.
Oh, so. Cool. All right, so that's next Tuesday, and every Tuesday until Comic-Con, we'll bring you news, views, and special guests. And yeah, I mean, we only have, what, 3 weeks to go? So that means only a few more shows and the 2 scheduled podcasts, which remember, the scheduled podcast coming up after they are announced starting on the 5th. We will do a podcast on Friday the 6th and Sunday the 8th.
Yep, that's it. Exactly. All right. Sign up for our newsletter. We're actually sending them out once a week now, and that will probably continue through Comic-Con. So get excited.
Yes. Thank you all for joining us. Carrie, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Carrie Dixon. And you can also find me running the blog Twitter. And real quick, Night Bodega said, can you reveal a button each week? I really like the toilet paper button. We do have some more buttons. I think they're getting to my house tomorrow. So maybe next week I can actually like show one off on the podcast. So.
Oh, another question from Headless Ned Stark. Do we give away exclusives at McFadden's? The answer is basically no. We give away a few like buttons and
we'll have
like NinjaBot stickers.
Yes, we'll have the NinjaBot exclusive stickers. We'll have buttons. We'll have pens with our logo. We'll probably give out a couple of those.
Maybe a few little surprises here and there, but none of the major stuff because we really want people to find the prize mule. So yes. We will be doing prize mule, and there's not as many people in town on Wednesday. And we want as many people as possible to come running towards at us with crazy faces who want those T-shirts. So,
because that's fun for us. It's our joy. All right. Let's see here. James, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
I am everywhere online at Dan Regal. And you can also check out geekshotphoto.com for links to my wife and I's photography. And also thank you to Beth, our producer, for putting together the slides, which was a chore today. There was a lot, as you could see. And also editing the show, and hopefully I fixed our issues with sound. If any of you have noticed that it's been not the best this season, hopefully we are fixing that. And she's been helping me with that and all the other little things that get this podcast done.
Yes, thank you so much, Beth. We're on iTunes. If you'd like to subscribe, the links are up on the blog, or you can search for SDConCast. If you like what you've heard so far, please review us. We're also on Stitcher Radio. The link is in the show notes.
If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at sdcomiccon.blog@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening, and everybody, go shawarma. No new end theme song.